When we went to the classes to learn more about homeschooling, the first thing they did is he gave everybody a piece of string. What he said to everyone in the room, he start tying knots in this string. So we all were like working, tying knots in the string as fast as we could. And after about 30 seconds, the teacher was like, okay, stop. And everybody stopped. And then he said, okay, now I'm going to give you 30 seconds and I want you to untie everything that just has been tied. See, what happens is, how many know that is very hard to do? And what he was trying to say is it's so important that when we first get taught, we get taught the right thing. Because what happens is then we spend the rest of our time trying to untie what you've been taught. The rapture trap, it causes us to have this mentality. Things have to get worse and worse. The church has to get weaker and weaker. We have to become the church of Laodicea and become lukewarm. And so we've been taught this. There was a famous book called The Late Great Planet Earth by Hal Lindsey. How many are familiar with that book? It is the best-selling book of all time. And what I'm going to teach you today goes against much of what Hal Lindsey had taught when he released it back in the 70s. I was raised in a church called the Assemblies of God. At the end of every service would say, hey, did you know when you leave here today, the church might be raptured up? And if you're not right with God, you're going to be left behind. How many have been to altar calls like that? It was like every week they talked about the rapture. And what I'm realizing as I begin to study the Bible, that a lot of what we have been taught, we need to now be untaught. I had a friend, he worked at this automotive factory. He said, is every time he would go to work, there was always this rumor going around that the business was going to close. How many have ever worked in a factory like this? Oh, somebody just got bought out. They're closing next week. It's not going to work. Everyone's going to get fired. Everyone's going to get laid off. And so what is the morale at that factory, good or bad? It's bad. How about in the church? What's the morale in the church if we keep telling everybody it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and then the evil's going to take over? A lot of people just throw in the towel and stop trying to change society. God wants to use the church in this season, but we have to stop thinking that the church is going to close down and realize, no, the church is going to take over.